Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank each of you for being here. And we're particularly grateful to see Secretary Murphy, our former colleague. There is life after office, and I know his military background too. And so I thank all of you for your service. General Welsh, I appreciate being the son of a flying tiger. I'm also very proud to be the uncle of a current airman. And as chairman of the Emerging Threats Subcommittee of the Armed Services Committee, I'm concerned about the third offset strategy, which may be providing for present-day trade-offs for an overdue bet on the future when investments in both areas are desperately needed. In your opinion, what generation of weapon system is your priority to maintain American military technological superiority by 2020?
Chairman, the two best examples of technology that we need in the Air Force by 2020 are programs that are already in progress that the Congress has supported very well, and that's the KC-46 tanker and the F-35. The emerging threat over the next 5 to 10 years will mean that we have to have a capability to operate against an integrated air defense system, against aircraft that now have longer sensor ranges, longer weapons ranges than anything we currently have on our legacy fleet. The F-35, working with the F-22, will give us that capability. It will also give us the capability to penetrate integrated air defense systems. So 2020, those are the pacing technologies that we are already in the process of acquiring.
And I'm grateful you mentioned the F-35. I formerly represented Beaufort Marine Corps Air Station, and I'm very grateful for the training there and what that means for our country. Admiral Richardson, I'm also grateful to be a Navy dad. And you yesterday courageously testified before the Senate Armed Services Committee that Iran had knowingly violated international law earlier this year by boarding a U.S. Navy vessel, detaining 10 sailors against their will. In addition to this outrage, it was reported just this week that Iran has seized an estimated 13,000 pages of information extracted from government laptops, GPS devices, and maps aboard the vessel. I'm deeply concerned about this violation. Would like to know what subsequent actions have been taken to rectify this brazen defiance of international law by Iran.
Sir, within the Navy, I'll speak to that part. We have conducted an investigation. That investigation is being reviewed right now. That will detail all of the sequence of events that went on in detail as that event unfolded, and we have identified a number of areas in the Navy where we can tighten up our act, improve, so that we can minimize the chance of something like this happening again.
Well, again, it's just an outrage to me to see our military personnel humiliated by what I consider to be an outlaw regime. And General Milley, my wife and I appreciate that we've had 3 sons who've served under your command. Military officials have said that the Army's FY2017 budget request for facilities is less than that of the prior year. So by far, this affects the military construction budget, which in recent years has been focused on family housing projects. Could you explain what military barracks and facilities have your focus? And in particular, I'm very interested in Fort Jackson that I represent, and there are barracks that are 50 years of age.
Thanks, Congressman, and I must say that you have probably the most joint family I've ever heard in my life, and I do hope you got positive feedback from your sons who served under my command.
I just can't include the Coast Guard.
Yes, of course. Coast Guard's next.
Yes.
So, but to answer your question, installation readiness is one of the foundational parts of overall readiness, because that's where we get our housing, quality of life, education, et cetera, but that's also where you get your ranges and all your training areas, et cetera. And that has taken a cut over several years, and frankly, our installations have degraded significantly. And I agree with General Nella, the greatest quality of life that we can take care of a soldier is to bring him back with his dog tags in one piece, whole mind, whole body, and that requires good training, equipment, leadership, et cetera. But also, when they're deployed, to ensure that their families have great quality of life so that they can focus on the task at hand, which is the military task. Specifically, with respect to, you mentioned Fort Jackson, South Carolina, there's some areas there that have been deteriorated. So there's several projects that you'll see in the FY17 budget that are targeted specifically to Fort Jackson, because I'm not satisfied with the quality of the barracks that are there, and we're going to upgrade some of those, and we're pulling forward a couple of additional items that we put in the, that we were looking to put in the FIDEP in 18 or 19. We're going to bring them forward because I think the condition of some of the facilities at Jackson are unsatisfactory and don't meet Army standards.
Thank you very much.